Hello and welcome to Rehab and Recovery with Dr. Miles Sandoval. I am Dr. Miles Sandoval. I'm a physical therapist specializing in online recovery coaching and meal support for clients on the journey to recovery from eating disorders and other addictions. And this is Sandy Claus, who's going to be joining us for the video today because she stole my spot on the couch. I wanted to make a quick follow-up video today to the video I posted yesterday about how thinking of food as only fuel misses out on the facets of food and eating that are also joyful, that are also pleasurable, and that can offer connection between people sharing food and preparing food together. But I got a response on the video that I thought was very insightful and offered a good perspective that led me to the subject of today's video, which is honoring the tools that serve us in recovery for however long they might serve us. So the response to yesterday's video that I got was this: about whether or not the paradigm of food as fuel is useful in eating disorder recovery. So this person online said, definitely useful as a stepping stone. I think it's a bit much to ask someone who is afraid of eating food to immediately let go of any negative associations and start thinking of food as a joyful thing. The statement, food is fuel, is a value-neutral statement. This objective fact is very useful for combating negative thoughts surrounding food. Eventually, someone will probably want to work up to actually enjoying food, but it's much easier to go from food is bad to food is fuel to food is pleasurable than it is to immediately try to go from food is bad to food is good. Changes in thinking are more likely to stick when you take baby steps. So that was their response. And I thought it was a really good point. Cognitively, I kind of split recovery up into early, mid, and long-term recovery because I think there are a lot of tools that are useful in one of these phases that are not so useful in the other phases of recovery. And one of these tools, it seems like for a lot of people, might be thinking of food as fuel. Another example that I can think of is deciding in early recovery from alcoholism that I just do not go to parties where there will be alcohol. So it might be a good rule when you're concerned about relapse and you're getting your sea legs in recovery. But I also invite you to consider if there might be a time 2, 3, 4 years down the road when you get invited to a New Year's Eve party with a new date that you're excited about going on, or you get invited to a big family celebration with a bunch of extended family members you haven't seen in a long time, and maybe there happens to be alcohol at the celebration. I think as we continue to expand in recovery, there may be tools that serve for a time that at a later point in time we find no longer serve us. And as an analogy to something unrelated to addiction, I often think of casting a broken leg. So if you have a broken leg, the best thing that you can do to heal it is to put a cast on it. And that's a very useful tool for a time. But you don't wear the cast forever. There comes a certain point in time where it serves you better to take the cast off and begin to flex and strengthen the muscles in your leg once again. And I think that it can be tricky to exercise this in addiction recovery because top priority is always avoiding a relapse. But kind of like I talk about in my earlier video about finding the appropriate challenge level for yourself, by continuing to challenge yourself with small, reasonable challenges in your recovery, my hope is that you will find your recovery grows even more and more expansive every day until your life is not defined by the substance of abuse or behavior of abuse, but nor is it defined by the absence of that substance or behavior. I think that expanding the boundaries of your own recovery can give you a new freedom to be able to go to that party where there's alcohol and not worry about the alcohol and not worry about relapsing. And at the same time, I don't want yesterday's video to sound too harsh on these tools that help us, especially early in the process. And so the takeaway that I'm hoping to leave y'all with this video is that there are many tools that are useful in recovery, and I want to honor and respect that. But please take the time to consider when the tools like the leg cast may not be needed and won't allow you to strengthen your recovery muscles in the way that you would eventually strengthen the leg that comes out of the cast. I hope that made sense. In any case, thank you so much for watching. Oh, look, Sandy came back to visit us. Please like, subscribe, and share with someone you know who may be struggling to get to the next phase of recovery. I will talk to y'all again very soon.